Hey guys, what's up? This is Dingo Crikey here with another commentary video. This time I'm going to be doing a discussion topic on Transformers 5. If you guys are interested in more topics on the Transformers 5 film or on Transformers 4 Age of Extinction and its toy line, please check out my playlist and channel where I also have a number of Transformers stop motion videos, some of which are previewed here. But for this video, I'm going to be discussing whether or not Bumblebee will die in Transformers 5. Just to let you guys know, this video may contain spoilers for the past 4 Transformer films, so if you haven't seen them and don't want it spoiled for you, you've been warned. But onto the topic of the video. So I decided to do this one because I see a lot of people who have been making the prediction that Bumblebee will actually die in Transformers 5. I've seen it so much in my comments and on certain Transformers message boards that I decided it was a legitimate enough topic to do a video on. Will Bumblebee actually die in the 5th Transformers film? Because it would obviously be a pretty big deal if he actually did. While there does seem to be a percentage of people who think that Bumblebee will die in the 5th film, there seems to be a lot of people who actually want him to die in the 5th film. I mean, it just seems like a lot of fans are simply sick of Bumblebee. All his beeps and boops and him playing, back recordings all the time, and, all the stuff he's done for the past 4 films. Is basically the same stuff outside of some new weapons and design changes, that kind of thing. Also, too, I think some of the older fans get annoyed with all the kid hype over him. Kids just love Bumblebee. I mean, here when I go to the store, kids like, oh, look, Bumblebee's on the shelf. I mean, kids love him. And also there's a large quantity of Bumblebee figures. I mean, he's everywhere, and I mean, he's been around forever. He's been around all these films. He's been in Transformers Animated. Before that, he was in Transformers Classics. Then you skip ahead to Transformers Prime. He also had a pretty big role in that. And in this new Transformers cartoon, he's going to be a major character. So, I mean, we've had a lot of Bumblebee in the past few years. There are a lot of people, too, who are speculating they might kill him for dramatic effect, because that would be pretty dramatic if they killed Bumblebee. He's basically the only character who's been around as long as Optimus has been. Outside of Galvatron, but even him, he's kind of like a Transformer with Megatron's mindset. He's not really like Megatron, he doesn't have the spark and all that, at least not that I caught. But one of the biggest reasons for why people seem to think Bumblebee is going to get killed is that they might possibly kill off Bumblebee and bring in Hotshot's character to replace him. Now, for anyone who doesn't know who Hotshot is, he was basically the Bumblebee type character of Transformers from around 2001 to 2006, especially in Transformers Armada. I mean, looking at that show alone, he was yellow like Bumblebee for one thing, and he was, outside of maybe Starscream in that show, he got the most screen time. He was the character who started out kind of young, cocky, and inexperienced, and grows throughout the series, becomes more mature. He got a ton of screen time, more development than a lot of the other characters. He was probably the character who was set more than any of the other ones to appeal to the younger audience. So a lot of people think there's a chance that they might have Bumblebee die in Transformers 5, then Hotshot take his place in Transformers 5 and 6, and I guess kind of pay homage to the original, Transformers arc throughout the years of having Bumblebee as the original, I don't know, cool guy, and then Hotshot comes in and takes his place, or something like that. But anyways, moving on to my opinion of it, I honestly feel like almost 99% sure that Bumblebee will definitely survive through the 5th Transformers film. I would almost feel confident enough to bet my next 3 paychecks that Bumblebee will survive. I don't think Bumblebee fans have anything to worry about, and here are my general reasons. Okay, number 1, Bumblebee is way too much of a popular character to be killed off. I mean, like I said earlier, younger fans love Bumblebee, and it's not just younger fans. Now some fans who may have been younger when they first got into the movie love Bumblebee. Some older fans still do. I mean, he's just really popular. He's probably the second most iconic Transformers character. He's also the only surviving Autobot from the first film, and he always had a significant role. I mean, my next reason would be that he's way too much of a marketable character. Killing him off would be a financial atrocity for Hasbro, especially in the fifth film when the trilogy's not even over and you're going to have to deal with a movie selling without Bumblebee. I mean, the Age of Extinction line already isn't selling great. Not having Bumblebee there would probably hurt it. As much as he might be a shelf warmer sometimes, I mean, there's a reason Hasbro produces so much of him. He obviously sells. I mean, also, they have a whole new Autobot cast. They have the 3 new ones along with the 4 Dinobots. So, I mean, they have a lot of other characters to kill off before they would have to resort to Bumblebee. And replacing Bumblebee with Hot Rod or Hotshot would be the 1986 movie effect all over again. Spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen the 1986 Transformers film. Basically, what happens in the film is Optimus Prime gets killed off and is replaced by a character called Hot Rod, who later becomes Rodimus Prime. Basically, this character was the basis for Hotshot's character. And when they did this, it had a horrible effect on the fans. I mean, kids were locking themselves in their rooms, people were just furious, and no one liked Rodimus after that. I mean, it's taken the character such a long time to build up, good standing with the fans again, so to speak. I mean, people just hated Rodimus. You do that, and it's a really bad move, and I think they'd realize that. This would be like that effect magnified by 100-fold, because you have a way bigger fan base now, so killing off Bumblebee and replacing him with Hot Rod or Hotshot, I think would be a really bad move. He's also going to be the main character in this upcoming Transformers cartoon, so, they're obviously still interested in marketing him. He's not going anywhere anytime soon, according to that. I mean, Bumblebee, I guess you could argue that he has a greater chance of death because his role was significantly diminished in TF4 from where it was in the other 3 films. Not to say he didn't have screen time, but he didn't have as big of a role. But still, the fact that he survived till TF4 instead of giving him the Leadfoot Ratchet treatment, I mean, kind of shows that they're interested in keeping him around, like I said. Also, I think they would want to keep him around if they're going to make a 3rd Transformers trilogy. If they weren't, they could kill him off in Transformers 6 as a heroic death, something like that, create a lot of drama. But if they want to make a 3rd Transformers trilogy, like Transformers 7, I mean, they want to keep one consistent Autobot character. At least you would think they'd want to keep one character who has been in all the films. I mean, this very well could be Optimus Prime, but, not to be the bringer of bad news, but, by the time they'd be doing Transformers 7, Peter Cullen's possibly going to be like 79 years old. I mean, I don't know how much longer he's going to be voicing Optimus Prime. In that situation, it would probably be better to have Optimus go out in some heroic way in Transformers 6, and then if they were going to do a 3rd trilogy, have Bumblebee's voice restored and have him the main character in Transformers 7 through 9, something like that. I mean, they might not do a 3rd trilogy. There might be nothing to worry about there, but, if they do, Peter Cullen is getting pretty old. And if you switch his voice in Transformers 7 or in one of the films, no one's going to accept it. I mean, maybe in other Transformers series, Optimus can have different voices, like Gary Chalk or the guy who voiced him in the original RID, but for the films, Peter Cullen's voice is Optimus Prime, whereas Bumblebee hasn't had a voice yet, so they could get anyone to voice him if they wanted to give him a voice. I mean, those are basically the reasons why I think he'll survive in TF5. As far as do I want to see him live, I mean, yeah, I do want to see Bumblebee survive the films. I know I'm not the biggest Bumblebee fan in the world. I mean, I don't consider myself like a hardcore Bumblebee fan, but I mean, I do like his character. In my opinion, there's nothing really great about him in the films, but there's also nothing really wrong with him. I mean, he fits the bill well, They also don't need more unnecessary Transformer character deaths. I mean, that's what almost every Autobot death has felt like. I mean, Ratchet's felt a little bit more essential, but we had Jazz die, and that pretty much just felt like a death for the sake of drama, to have a death. Same with Ironhide's. Yeah, Bumblebee, other than Optimus, is the only surviving character from the original Autobot cast, so it would be kind of a shame to kill him off. And I mean, as far as the Hotshot thing goes, I like Hotshot. At least in Armada, they kind of screwed him up in Energon and Cybertron. But basically, I wouldn't want to see Hotshot become the replacement character who everyone hates because he's just known as the guy who took Bumblebee's place. I mean, whether he is directly involved in Bumblebee's death or not, people are going to look at him that way, and they probably wouldn't like him. I'd rather Bumblebee and Hotshot kind of work alongside each other. Maybe you bring in Hotshot as kind of a rookie. You know, he's tough, but kind of a rookie type character, and Bumblebee kind of reflects on him, and as much as Bumblebee might not be able to stand him, it kind of reminds him of himself when he was younger, and, you know, we've assumed Bumblebee's matured throughout the films. I mean, didn't pee on anyone in the last film, so, you know, I think he's grown up a bit. But anyways, that's my thoughts on it at this point. I mean, when more news comes out about the next film, a lot of stuff might change. I mean, you know, maybe I'm totally wrong about this. Maybe we'll start seeing news and stuff and, you know, footage from on set that makes it look like Bumblebee might die. I mean, that is a possibility, but as it stands right now, I don't see it happening. Sorry, I just gotta disagree with you guys on this one. I don't think Bumblebee's going anywhere anytime soon. You know, the Hotshot thing, it's possible, and, you know, there is a chance, you know, when we start seeing more news on Transformers 5, but I don't think it's gonna happen. But that's my thoughts on it. You guys can leave what you think in the comment section. Do you think Bumblebee's gonna die in the fifth film? Why do you think he's going to die? Do you want to see him die? Maybe if he did die, you would not be a Transformers fan anymore. Something like that. Leave anything like that in the comment section, along with any topic suggestions you might have. You know, it could pertain to the Transformers 4 Age of Extinction toy line or to the Transformers 5 film. Now, someone has given me the idea of doing a video on predictions about the creators and who they might be. I haven't forgot about that. I do plan to get to the video. It's just I want to do some more reading, rewatch some episodes of some of the cartoons, and, you know, get my thoughts together before I do that one. But I do plan on doing that. Along with that, feel free to leave off any Transformers 5 news or topic suggestions. I'm interested in seeing them. And that pretty much sums it up. So, you know, stay tuned for more Transformers commentary videos. Like I said, mainly on the Transformers 5 film, on the Age of Extinction toy line, or discussion topics about the movie if any of them ever come around. Also, maybe some on the Generations line, Transformers in general, one of the past cartoons. You know, anything I feel like doing it on or you guys suggest, I'm open to it. So you can go back and check out some of my older commentary videos if you haven't seen them. And also feel free to check out my Transformers stop motion videos. More commentary videos to come soon, and Transformers stop motion videos sometime in the future. Stay tuned for that. Have a good one, guys.